Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a good month and a half since I've uploaded a video. But after the dyno where I blew up the stock intake manifold, I put another stock one on it. If you watch Andrew's videos, you know this already. But that's all I had laying around. Actually bought it off a buddy of mine real quick. Put it on. I've been driving it around on like 22 PSI. And that's perfectly fine. I've had no issues with that. But I did order a billet intake manifold and it finally showed up and it's now on the car. I also did some other modifications in that time. I did some seats. What else did I do? I have harnesses, but they're not installed yet because I'm still waiting on cage and or harness bar. I'll probably do a harness bar for now. It's going to take a while for the cage to show up. What the hell else did I do? Oh, I did redo my fuel system. It was a single -8 line wiring to two -6s to the back of the rails. And since I don't have an exhaust anymore, I decided to put the fuel system in the tunnel so I could access it if I ever need to service it instead of in the fender liner. So I went to a -10 to dual -8 feeds, and I have a post filter also. So we'll start going over that stuff now. It's up in the air. I've been out all day doing like rolling burnouts in fourth gear to about 20 PSI. It's so much fun, but I really need to get a 28-inch tire on here and on a 15-inch rim. So we're gonna go ahead and do that sometime soon. Let's get started looking at what I did already before I talk too darn much. So you can see my current tires are trash. That's from all those burnouts. This thing will spin completely through fourth gear at 22 pounds. It just doesn't hook at all. It's super fun, but it's not going to win any races. So here's the fuel system now. There's a bulkhead actually on each tank. It wides in to the single Holley. This is their 12-1800. It's a twin pump, and this pump itself is capable of being driven at 18.5 volts. So I have a booster pump constantly driving this, although the pump itself is Hobbs switch activated. The factory intake pump wides in right after. Short little line to Holley's 460 gallon per hour fuel filters, things like 9 inches long. Stash 10 out, wires to my dual -8 feeds right to the back of the rail. So that's all I did underneath. It tucks nicely in here. I can service everything. This is great. Much better than in the fender liner. I'm never going to have an exhaust back here anymore. It comes out of the dang fender. I did pop a coupler when I was doing all those rolling burnouts. I had 2 cheap couplers on here, and honestly I forgot about them. They were cheap eBay couplers, and I meant to replace them after making the kit, and I was like, I forgot. But this is what happens to them. They suck. So I got some more going on here. But let's get this girl on the ground, and we're going to go over the seats first, and then I'll show you the billet goodness up front. So here they are. These are Cypher Racing seats. They're actually a cheaper brand of seats, but I wanted to try them, and I'm extremely happy with them. To be honest, these are right around $600 for the pair. And the main reason I purchased them is I needed holes for the harness. I wasn't going to buy a Kirky. This is a street car mainly for me, and I don't want to sit on an aluminum bucket with just a piece of fabric over it. So I got these. Planted makes the seat brackets. The only downside to these seats in a Corvette, because the Corvette's really tight, the factory seat belts don't fit. Here's what's left of my factory seat belt. I'm going to remove it, and just a nice little look at them there. Where are they at? Here are the harnesses that I purchased. Figured the gray matched the get these out here. What the hell? These are 5-point harnesses. I thought about 6-point, but I decided just go with 5-point. It's already going to be crazy enough doing these on the street. But it is a cam lock. And these are made by a company called Racer Direct. I was leery about them because honestly the name sounds kind of cheesy, but these are a great quality harness as far as I can tell, and they are SFI spec. They're brand new, so they're good for about 2 years, and they can be recertified by this company. So I'm going to put these in. I'm only going to be able to put the lap belt portion in for now until the harness bar shows up, and I'll get the rest of those in later. But enough about that. You can almost let this intake speak for itself. So I had a couple of different companies that I talked to as far as getting a billet intake on this, and LME, Late Model Engines, is the company that came through. And honestly, I thought it was the most gorgeous intake out of the bunch. I mean, just look at that thing. So I initially wanted to get black, but it was going to take a little bit longer for them to send it off and get it coated. And I figured with a silver car, the polish would be great, and I couldn't be happier with the choice to choose the polish with the black rails. So I'm still running a stock throttle body. A couple people were curious why I did not put a larger boosted Nick Williams throttle body on here. Well, I'm making that 1350 with 3-inch intercooler piping. That's like 76 millimeter. Putting a bigger throttle body immediately after 3-inch piping is going to do nothing for me. Maybe change throttle response a little bit. The stock throttle body has proven so far to be more than capable. And even if I do upgrade this intercooler piping, the largest I'm going to go is 3.5, which is still smaller than the 90 millimeter throttle body. I did have to do some interesting things to make this intake fit. It more or less fits just bolting it on a Corvette. Like, it fits under the cowl, no issues there. But my fuel lines with the rails being lower, I needed different fittings back there. I had to make new lines for this regulator to fit up here. The spacer here between the stock throttle body and the intake had some ports on it that I ended up drilling out. The upper one here is my intake air temperature sensor. Down here is the vacuum for the evap. I still have the evap system on this car. Go around to the other side. This was a 1/4-inch MPT port that I ended up putting a 3/8 barb in for my, this is my vacuum side of my PCV system. And I did have a factory valley cover down here that had a vacuum port, but it is a little restrictive, so I bought a non-vacuum valley cover and then drilled 3/8 MPT in there. It pulls a little more vacuum on the crankcase, and it solved all of my oiling issues I was having with the turbo. Even with this Mighty Mouse on here serving as the fresh air inlet and the pressure relief under boost, at idle, for some reason there was still too much crankcase pressure, and this turbo is proven to be very sensitive to crankcase pressure. At idle, it would smoke a little bit. If I brought the RPMs up a little bit, got a little more vacuum, it would go away. So I decided to pull a little more vacuum, and it's been perfect since then. And I've cleaned the engine bay up a good bit since the nice little fire from the intake manifold blowing up, but I still have to replace some of this wrap. Some of the crappy powder fire retardant got stuck in the wrap, so I'm just going to rewrap that. But before this video ends, I am going to, it'll probably be next weekend, but you'll see it all in one video. I'm going to take the car out, do some pulls, so you guys have some content to watch. I know you want to see that, and I do want to at least have part of the harness in there for those, even though I was doing it today with no seat belts. But pulls in 4th gear, spinning the tires with the manual is a blast. And then after that, it probably won't be in this video, it'll be in the next video, is it's going to go back on the dyno, and I'm going to turn it up to about 30 pounds, and we'll see what it makes. I'm hoping for 1450, 1500. I am not going to go any more than 30 pounds of boost with the factory computer. It just simply cannot read any more than that. The computer actually only allows me to go up to 255 kPa, which is like 22 pounds, but I can scale it slightly with the 3-bar sensor to get farther. I don't want to scale it anymore, ruin some resolution. So soon enough, I will be changing to a standalone. I'm not going to say which standalone yet. I have one that I'm seriously considering. I want to see if I can talk to these companies, and we'll go from there. But this is actually going to be a short video. Looks like I've recorded 5 minutes now. We'll probably have another few minutes of ripping around. Let me know what you guys think. Everyone thinks the whole engine blew up. It literally was just the intake manifold and a mess that I had to clean up. I put another stock one on there. I've been ripping around on 22 pounds, 0 issues. It takes a while to get the money for this. This is an expensive intake manifold, and it took me a while to save up for it. And then when I purchased it, it took weeks for it to show up because they machined it out of block of billet. It wasn't ready on the shelf, ready to go. But it's finally here. I got it like 2 days ago, and it's already on the car because I'm extremely impatient. All right, Larry, we're not going to do any driving in this video. I really want to get this video out for you guys. It's been too long, and I forgot about one very important mod. It's one of the best ones on here. It's the MSD 2-step. I've been wanting it. A buddy gave me a deal on it. Thanks, James. It's on the car, currently set at 4,500 RPM. It's not permanently mounted yet. There's the two-step right there that I'm using, 4,500 RPM. I probably am not going to permanently mount this because I am going standalone, and it'll take care of this feature for me so I can take this out. But let's get this camera set up and you'll see what it can do. It sounds pretty awesome. Okay, the car's already pretty warmed up, so I can start up and get right to it, but I'm going to open my door just so I don't die in here from 85 fumes. All right, now that I'm completely deaf from doing that, that was pretty hilarious, blew the thing all over the place. But that's gonna end this video. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you wanna see more content of me actually working on it. I tend to start recording and then I get so involved I completely forget about it. But if you guys really wanna see that, I'll do more of it. I'm getting text messages while I'm doing this. But like I said, that's gonna end this video. The next one, we'll get it on the dyno. We'll do some street ripping, and then we'll go from there. Season's just starting. Later, guys.